In this video, I'm going to show you how to factorize this. So factorizing this would mean you would write something times something inside the brackets. You see what I mean later. But before I show you this, let me just give you this illustration. If I were to give you one thing times this thing here, you would distribute it. You would get 3x times 2x. That would be 6x squared. 3x times 3 would give you 9. Would give you 9x. So factorization means you start from here and somehow you have to work backwards to get back to this. So imagine you didn't know this. Imagine you didn't know this. How would we get back to the original? So to do this, you would have to write this as something times another thing. So there's a plus here. So it would be something times this will then give you this. But to do this, you would look at the 6 and the 9. What's in common? There's a number that's in common with the 6 and the 9. Well, the number that's in common is actually the number 3. Because look, 3 times, you can imagine the 6 as a 3 times a 2. You can imagine the 9 as 3 times a 3. So what's in common is the number 3. So look at the 6 and the 9. What's in common? It is the number 3. So you drag out the 3. You drag out the 3. Now, 3 times what would give me 6? Well, 3 times 2 would give me a 6. And then 3 times what would give me a 9? Well, it's going to be 3. So we dragged out the 3. Now look at the x. X squared means a block of x and a block of x. There's one block of x here. What's in common is actually one block of x. One block of x here, one block of x. So you drag out the block of x, and then this times what will give me 6x squared. Well, if you drag out one block of x here, you still got another one here, x. So now let's check. This times 2x will then give you 6x squared. This times what will give me 9x. Well, the 3x times 3 would then give you 9x. So that's good. So now you just factorized it. So now let's look at this one here. So going back to our original problem. Look at the number 10 and the number 15. What's in common? So here you've got to think about it. What's in common with a 10 and a 15? Well, what's in common is the number, hang on. What's in common is the number 5, because 5 times 2 would give you a 10 and 5 times 3 would give you a 15. So what's in common is one block of 5. So you drag out the block of 5. Drag out the block of 5. Now 5 times what will give you a 10? Well, it's 2. And then 5 times what would give you a 15? Well, it turns out to be 3. So now let's look at the x squared. X squared means x times x. You've got one block of x here. Now looking at the x, what's in common is one block of x. So you drag out one block of x. You drag out one block of x. Now let's try and think about this. 5x times what will give me 10x squared? Well, it turns out to be a block of x here, because if you drag out this block of x, there's still this one left. So now let's look at this one here. Remember, you also dragged out this block. So 5x times 3 would give you a 15x. So here you just factorized it. So if you were given this, the way you would factorize it would be like this. It would be 5x bracket and then 2x and then minus, and then you've got a 3 here. So that's how you factorize it. Okay.